We're looking at Brian's earlier work, specifically Stretching Cat, and I was wondering if you could tell me a bit more about Brian's relationship with animals and how he presented them in his work.
Yes, I think first starting with this piece is very important because it's very early, 1955 again, and if you can just have a look at the drawing up here, this is a drawing of the Stretching Cat. Obviously it's very abstract in form. Brian's looking at movement, but he's not looking at detail. And this Stretching Cat did puzzle me for a while until I watched our cat from above, stretching down and drinking some milk, and you could see the four legs bending up behind her. So it's really seen from above, this sculpture, but you also see that he's keeping it very simple, and he's expressing the movement within the form with very little detail because he simply isn't concerned with it in this sculpture. And there are, in the catalogue you can see there are a couple of figures as well, one bending forward, one bending back, and it's the same feeling that there's movement inside the form, but there might not be a head, there might not be feet, but you can feel there's something happening and there is something moving inside. And I think that's the same with all of his sculptures, but these very early ones, he's exploring how to simplify and abstract that movement. He did have a close affinity with animals. He loved them and they loved him. And so he was able to work with I couldn't say entirely at peace, because if you look at this horse here, the original was a life-size horse which Brian sculpted the horse was tethered up in a barn, and that horse was quite aggressive. It was a stallion. But even so, Brian developed a relationship with that horse and developed a particular way of distracting the horse by touching its nose with a bit of wet clay, and while it licked the clay off, he concentrated on his movements and went back to his sculpture. And he also sculpted a life-size bull in a similar way, except that the bull was very friendly, and which you would expect him to be aggressive, but the bull was very friendly, so that sculpture was easy for him to make. And if you move over here to this very rather jolly sculpture of Lily the lurcher, who is our dog, and was exclusively Brian's dog really when he was alive, Lily would do any pose for Brian because she's very obliging, very gentle, as she's a lurcher but has that nature that greyhounds have of being calm and friendly. And as you can see, he had a particular interest in the structure of her bony body, basically. It was one of the advantages, again, of having a slim model. You could see all the movement, and so to a sculptor this is a very fascinating thing, and plan and elevation drawings are something that Brian did throughout his life. He, as you can see, also is very accurate with his measurements, with his points of reference, and again it's an exploration as well of what the dog was actually like. Now there are many life-size dogs, some have never been seen because they're still in the studio or being cast, but this is something that the dog does. She rolls about with her legs in the air. He's exaggerated it, he's captured her in her joy of what she's doing. And I think a lot of people who love animals recognise that. And similarly with all these animals over here, this is calf's head, stretching up and just expressing, I don't know, sort of calf-like look. And you can see it when he's in the studio. This is quite an old photograph. He's got this close relationship with the calf, and the calf is very close to him. So the animals were very happy working with him, and he was never happier than with an animal. People weren't his favourite things.